Good morning to all traders and welcome on this Friday the 14th of August. So we've seen the New Zealand dollar being highlighted today in the news as its fall against all major currencies, especially the British pound, as the Royal Bank of New Zealand declared that it is willing to cut interest rates further in the face of uncertainty surrounding their economic recovery. This week everything changed in New Zealand with the announcement of its first confirmed cases outside of isolation since 102 days, with the infection rate steadily increasing once again, which prompted the Prime Minister to impose further lockdown restrictions. The decision saw policymakers boost quantitative easing while confirming that cutting interest rates to 0% or below remains a possibility in the future months to come. In addition, the Turkish lira was once again in the news as it recently marked its weakest ever level against the euro. The worry is that if the lira does implode again, it will be more of an issue for euro, since some of the big southern European banks hold large exposures in the currency. So what I'm going to go through today is the pound kiwi first of all. So I'll put it on a weekly chart just to see this slow up trend. I put a channel in just to highlight this. So what we can see here, we've seen some tests on the lower regression on this trend, and this was the spike up when the coronavirus really took effect. So we can see this evolution over the kiwi for the pound. I'll just put a Fibonacci in from when the lowest point to the highest, and as we can see, it has kept on pushing up recently. So what I'm going to do is zoom in to give a better perspective of this year. So we've basically seen a move out of the cloud, and this was obviously when the coronavirus took hold, and then we've seen a slow recovery for the kiwi over the pound. When we've seen this test on this line, it's gone back into the cloud, which indicates that above the Tenkan line it was always going to break out. Now we're seeing a breakout in the cloud, so this is a strong indication that it will keep pushing upwards. Once we see this move evolve into the Kijun line, which is on this period here, sorry, this level here, which is roughly about just over 2, yes, just over 2. If it hits this line, then we can see another push into the cloud and then up to the 78.6 Fibonacci. After that, there's no reason why it can't keep pushing further. We've seen slight resistance apart from the spike. We've seen some levels here which it could easily go up to at 2.1. So I'll be looking at that in the next 24 hours just to see if it can keep pushing towards this area here, and if it goes over the psychological level, if it keeps pushing over the psychological level, sorry, of 2. So I'm on the 2-hour chart now just to give a bit more short-term perspective. So as you can see, we've broken well out of the cloud at the moment, and there is a bit of a bullish momentum from the last few hours since the trading day began, or even the week, sorry. As we go into the trading day today, again, just put from the low that we had recently. Again, I'm only looking at levels over the 61.8 and the 78.6. So again, if we see short-term resistance at $2, because it's quite a psychological level, we could see it probably go back onto this convergence level of the Tenkan line and then drop further to Kijun. But if it goes through the 78.6 and the 61.8 back into the cloud, we could see these kind of levels at the moment, but it is an expectancy that if it falls into the cloud, it could then bounce back up towards the recent highs that we've seen. So I'll just bring you to the Euro Turkish Lira chart now. So what we're seeing again is quite an evolution of the euro over the Turkish lira, and what we can see here from the breakout from that big spike there, which was recorded 2 years ago. I'll just put a Fibonacci in just to see where we're at. I'll just zoom in a little bit. So obviously there is this bullish momentum pushing upwards. The Turkish lira economy is not doing very good at the moment, so it is very much expected that the euro will keep eclipsing the Turkish lira. So what we've seen here is a very good indication on the 61.8 Fibonacci and the 78.6 at the Kijun and the Tenkan lines have been broken, and it's moved away. So it's very much out of the cloud at the moment, which indicates that it will keep pushing upwards. So a very good indication that if it does keep pushing up and break the 8.78, that it will probably keep going to new highs. So I've come to the 4-hour chart now. I don't want to go too short term with the euro Turkish lira because the trades that I'll be looking for will be for the upcoming week. So what I can see at the moment is that, again, it's trading outside of the cloud. It touched a cloud here at the beginning of the month, but since then, as you can see, it's been progressively on the upside. So like we saw at the 8.76 on the weekly chart, I'll be expecting it to touch there again and maybe push for fresher highs. If we get some more resistance at this line, we could easily see it touch the cloud. If it does touch the cloud, then it means that it's fallen below the Tenkan Kijun, which is an indication that it could just keep pushing sideways for now. But I'll be interested to see that if it does get falling to the cloud at these levels, approximately at 8.50, then I'll be looking to see if I can put in a buy position here, or if it just touches the bottom of the cloud and starts falling a bit more, I'll be looking to put a sell down to this 78.6, which is at 8.14. So a few things to look out for today. So that's all for today. If you have any comments, feel free to add them to the video and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Until then, have a great trading day ahead and a great weekend ahead. Thank you very much. Goodbye for now.